we're going to do male first. Is that okay? Okay, so this is the male testis sitting in the scrotum. Testis. This is the epididymis. This is the vas deferens all the way up around, all the way. Vas deferens. This right here is the seminal vesicle. Where the vas comes down and meets the seminal vesicle, that's the ejaculatory duct right there. This is the bladder. This is the urethra coming down of the bladder right here. This whole structure around the urethra, that's the prostate gland right there. This is the rectum.
I didn't know I didn't have it on.
Oh, I'll do it again. This is the bulbourethral gland right there. You couldn't see that on the other model. It wasn't labeled, but on this one it is. That's the bulbourethral gland. This is the urethra, of course, here. So this is the penis with the urethra right down through the penis right there. The spongy tissue surrounding the urethra is the corpus spongiosum, with the glans at the end. If the guy has a foreskin, it's that piece of skin right there. If you're circumcised, you don't have that piece of skin any longer. This is the corpora cavernosa here. Now again, this is in cross section, so you only see one, but remember there's actually two of those, one on each side. And then of course the whole organ here is a penis.
Can you say the ejaculatory duct again?
The ejaculatory duct is right here. So follow the vase all the way up around, find the seminal vesicles in the backside of the bladder, and where the vase and the seminal vesicles merge, that's the ejaculatory duct, and the ejaculatory duct merges right into the urethra right there.
What's this duct?
Well, the bulbourethral gland is at the end. The duct is actually called the bulbourethral duct, but
what's the bulbourethra do again?
It produces a little bit of seminal fluid, like about 5%. It's a very little bit of seminal fluid.
Is that the sugary substance that you're talking about?
Yeah. Yeah, there's added sugars coming out of this one. There are other things in there too. There's alkaloids that are produced by the seminal vesicles and various things, but I just gave that as kind of an example that the three glands are producing different flavors of seminal fluid. Sorry, flavors is maybe a poor choice of terms there.
Epididymis.
Oh, here epididymis, vas deferens. This is a testis. Scrotum is the sac.
The whole thing.
The whole thing.
The whole thing.
The whole thing is a scrotum.
Okay.
Or the question could say, what is this and what is the sac it sits in, that sort of thing.
Okay.
You will need to know the parts of the sperm. The head with an acrosome at the tip. It's hard to see the acrosome on this model, but it is at the very tip right there. There's the head, which contains the nucleus, the mid piece, which contains all the mitochondria, and then the rest of this is just a flagellum.
People that are circumcised don't have this anymore.
They have the glans, they're just missing the skin that extends over the top. So yes, that's called the foreskin right there. And a circumcision is where they cut that off. So if a man's glans hangs out exposed, then he's been circumcised. If his glans is covered with the skin, he's uncircumcised.
Okay.
How much skin they take off depends on who's doing the circumcision. So some guys have a little bit more left, some guys have a little bit less left. It just depends on the guy, the person doing the circumcision, how much they choose to cut off.
Okay.
All right, so this is female. Are we just gonna push that aside? All right, that's fine.
And kind of center on her, and then from these sides.
All right. Well, I guess we'll start with the external stuff. This is the mons here, right over the top. Of course, there's usually pubic hair grows right here. This is the mons. This is the pubic bone or the pubic symphysis. There's the clitoris. You can see it's erectile tissue.
Okay.
All right. In fact, it's corpus spongiosum, just like in the penis. So there's the clitoris. This is a labium majorum. Of course, there's two of them when you're not in cross section. This is a labium minorum here, or labium major, labium minor is fine. This is the urethra right there. This is the bladder. This is the vagina right there. And it goes all the way up to the cervix, which is this little part right here. This whole thing is the uterus. That's just the cervix of the uterus. This is the fundus of the uterus up here. There at the top. So that would make the rest of this the body, the vagina. This, of course, is the anus and rectum back here. Now I got to come up here and point at this stuff up in here. So this is the uterus. You got a tube that comes out of the uterus. It's that tube right there, the uterine tube. And that's the fimbriae at the end of the uterine tube there. This is an ovary underneath that fimbriae, and the 30 right there is on top of that ovarian ligament. Remember, the ovary is held by the ovarian ligament. The uterine tube doesn't actually connect. Technically, there's a little gap there. So this is uterine tube, that's ovarian ligament.
Did we go over that last half again?
Which fundus?
Hold on.
Oh.
I hit stop to get more data.
Yeah, you can still see the caramel. Were you telling us the caramel? Yeah. Yeah, I still have to see this.
Alright, I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, my dog.
Well, I'm pointing at this one too.
Okay.
All right, so let's pull this out.